talk about dream on. You know what? Sometimes that phrase, which would seem like it's a powerful phrase, actually can be used as a sarcastic thing. Like when someone tries to tell you, hi sweetheart, when someone tries to tell you their dream or their hopes or their desires, and then you say dream on, like, yeah, right, no way, that's never going to happen for you, quote unquote, is the kind of the inference by the way it's stated there. But on the other hand, the phrase dream on can be used like a pat on the back and like a shove in the right direction and like, yeah, absolutely, dream on and go for it. The thing about it is when we have something in our heart that we want to do, and you know, if you ever give that up, you begin to shrivel up. When you give up your dreams, you begin to shrivel up. And when that happens, then something in you begins to die. And when that happens, life is not very exciting anymore. So fan the flame on those dreams that you have and resurrect them if you need to, and bring and breathe life back into them by just getting creative about it. And if circumstances have changed such so that you don't see how you can fulfill those goals and desires in your heart, get creative. Necessity is the mother of invention, they used to say when I was a kid. And my uncle was one of the most creative people. My goodness, that guy could take nothing and make everything out of it. He moved from Indiana, came out on a train. He would hop the trains and ride the trains, jump in a car as it was moving, and then get a free ride out west. And so then he ended up in the desert where hardly anything was. He built an entire chicken ranch out of nothing, pretty much. He actually created, because he didn't want to feed all those chickens, because he grew them for grocery stores and so on to supply chickens for us to eat. But what he did is he didn't want to feed those chickens and do all the chores every day, so he created a way to feed those chickens automatically before automation was actually a thing. This was way back, like 50 years ago. This guy, he really knew how to think about a thing, take whatever it was he had, and then just start working it. In fact, one of my favorite stories about my uncle, I digress here, but this is just too funny. He didn't like the regular alarm clock system of waking up, so what he did is he created a system where when it was time for him to get up, it would actually pull, a thing would come down that's hooked onto the blanket on his bed, and it would lift the blanket off, and then it would make another big blaring sound, and then it would start the coffee maker and so on and so forth. So when he married my aunt, he forgot to tell her about that, and so the first night that they're married and she's waking up in the morning, all of a sudden the blankets lift off of her and this big loud noise comes on and the coffee pot and all that. It's just so funny. Oh my goodness. So in other words, my point is you can make a way where it seems like there's no way, because we take on the characteristic of God where he does that, right? Take what you have in your hand. Isn't that what Jesus told the disciples? Go find out what you do have, let God bless it and multiply it, and then go for it. So sometimes we have to take a fresh look at the dreams that were in our hearts from years ago or from recently, and we need to just begin working them and letting them evolve, so to speak. Because whenever you have a dream or a goal, something's going to come in automatically to try to discourage you on that. And so life happens to everybody. The good, the bad, the ugly. It happens to us all, but what are you going to do about it? One of my wonderful little phrases that kind of holds me steady when things are like going a little wonky is blessed are the flexible. Yeah, blessed are the flexible. Now that's something worth writing down, putting on your bathroom mirror for those days when you wake up in the morning and think, oh my word, how am I going to get through this day? Just say, blessed are the flexible. In other words, what it means to me is, how are my reflexes? When life throws me a curveball or pulls the rug out from underneath me, what are my reflexes? How do I respond to that? And one of the verses in the Bible that really blesses me along this idea and is one of my favorite verses is Psalms 52:8. And it talks about being a green olive tree in the house of the Lord, or in God's presence. We are housed in his presence, and in his presence, hey, Sister Jessica, thank you so much, sweetheart. So when life throws us a curveball or pulls the rug out from underneath us, what's our reaction to that? Or what's our reflex gut thing that happens? Do we just shrivel up and pull back? Or do we go, hey, I got this. I'll figure something out here with this. Because a green olive tree, one of the things, the image that I get in that I like so much, and I put that in my mind when I'm getting handed a curveball or the rug's being pulled out from me, is the suppleness of that green olive tree. Because it sways with the wind, a young tree. It hasn't come to that point where it's just, this is who I am. And so if a wind or some opposition comes up against it, it makes the tree crack and break and it's done. But a green olive tree has that suppleness about it. Blessed are the flexible, right? So when things come against it, it just sways with that breeze and then comes right back up into a standing position. So sometimes when life is happening and things are not like how we would like it to be, just blessed are the flexible. Be supple and go with the flow of that, but don't lose your dream. Don't lose that desire in you to do whatever it was that you want to do, because that's what keeps you fully alive and excited about life, because you're doing something that floats your boat. Yeah, so that's important for us to do that. So the thing about an olive tree that's really interesting is the olive tree can grow in just about any kind of element. It can grow under any kind of condition. It doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's raining, if it's hot, if it's whatever. It continues to grow and produce. So for you and I, we get many chances in life to be tested along that line. Will we continue going on and then produce out of that situation, no matter what? And you know what's happening in that process? We are gaining strength. We're gaining backbone. We're gaining confidence. We're gaining boldness when we keep going with the flow and coming right back to a stand-up position. Go with the flow and come back to a stand-up position. So however many times life seems to try to knock you down, just go with the flow and then boom, pop right back up and keep on keeping on. And whatever your hand finds to do, keep doing it with all your strength. Don't lose your enthusiasm. Sure, we go through seasons in life that are difficult, and sometimes like the passing of a loved one, like many of you know, my mom this past year. So it's been a difficult grieving moment, but that doesn't mean you stop everything and you get stuck in, like we talked about Jeremiah Tuesday, getting stuck in a dark place in muddy sludge. No, you just kind of keep on going, and eventually you come out of that thing at a higher place than when you went into it. So blessed are the flexible is a really important key ingredient to be like that green olive tree. Another thing about an olive tree that is so powerful is that it's so plentiful in what it produces that the fruit of it, the olive, is able to be exported and to earn revenue from it. So if you allow the dream that's in you to be so plentiful that it feeds many people, you create a market for what you have, and then it's able to supply the needs that you have as well as benefit many others. So that's another byproduct of an olive tree. So Psalm 52:8 says to be like a green olive tree in the presence of the Lord. So always producing, always fruitful, no matter which way the wind is blowing, you continue going and growing. And that's a characteristic of the olive tree. So you and I get to be like that. So when I say dream on, I'm saying it in the positive sense. Keep on dreaming, keep on fulfilling your dreams, because they shall come to pass if you don't quit and give up. Yeah? So blessed are the flexible. Can you say that with me? I hope. Blessed are the flexible. That's right. I'm turning my little notes over. I give myself some little bullet points so I don't forget where I want to go. Because I enjoy talking so much, I can go off on this pig trail and that pig trail. But let me just share that verse with you because it is very super special. Psalm 52:8, it says, I am like a green olive tree in the house of the Lord. Now that house doesn't mean a literal house. It means the presence of God. We are housed in God's presence. So if we're housed in his presence, then we don't have any need to fear, do we? Because if God is with us and we're with him, it's kind of like the Rogue One movie. It says, the force is in me and I'm in the force. It's kind of like that idea. Then we don't have any need to fear, because whatever comes, we are housed or encased in the presence of God. He's with us and we're with him. So why are we fearing anything? So we're trusting, it says, as it continues on, in the mercy of God forever and ever. Another verse says that God's mercies are new to us every day. So every day when we get up, there's fresh new mercies for us to go and accomplish in that day whatever's in our heart to accomplish. Woohoo! That's awesome, right? So we don't have to live on leftover mercy. We get fresh new mercy every day to go and accomplish whatever it is we want to accomplish. So then verse 9 says, woo, understanding that, God, I'm going to praise you forever. That's so awesome. And he says, I'm going to wait on your name, for it is good. And that word wait doesn't mean that we're just going to sit there like a rock and just be stuck in one spot. But that word wait means to be intertwined with. So we're going to be intertwined with God, and knowing that we are with him and he's with us, we can go and do anything that's in our heart to do. He's given us the ability, he's given us the mind to think and reason. He's given us imagination so we can think about things. Like I shared in the beginning of this post about my uncle, who was so creative, could take pieces of hangers, coat hangers, and little bits of this and little bits of that, and create an automated system to feed thousands of chickens that he was raising. And he only had to get up in the morning and flip a switch. And this is before automation was a thing. So he took what he had and used ingenuity and imagination and created a thing. And you and I have those same qualities too. And if we will just sit and think about a thing and ponder it and look at all the angles and everything, and realize that we can be flexible, and maybe it's not all the bells and whistles that we originally wanted for whatever it is that's in our heart to do. But if we'll take what we do have and we'll work it and work it, we can begin to see that thing bearing fruit as well. And pretty soon we come to a place where you will be able to have all the bells and whistles you want. But anyway, that's my thought for the day, is just to say, dream on, go for it. Don't let anything stop you. Just go with the flow, be flexible. Yeah, because things don't always work out the way we want, but that's okay. We don't have to lose heart, faint, quit, and give up. Just go with the flow and keep being creative and imaginative and just thinking about things. You know, thinking outside the box is really an important thing. Too often we just have it like everything has to be just like this. And if that's the kind of mindset that we tend to go toward, then we need to say to ourselves, stop that. Stop that. It doesn't have to be like this exactly. There's so many variables or other ways that things can work out. And so we just keep our eyes on the Lord and just keep going forward and allowing that creativity that's been deposited in us in the way that God made all of us and created all of us to be creative, and think outside the box and say, you know what? I'm not going to let go of that. Because like I said in the beginning, if we start letting go, we shrivel up and then we withdraw and we pull back, and life is no fun anymore. So make every day an adventure. Look forward to what's ahead of you. How can I be creative and imaginative with what I do have in my hand right now today? How can I go be a blessing to someone else? Because whenever you bless someone else, it will come back to you multiplied. It will boomerang back to you multiplied. So you're going to get more out of it when you bless someone else than they actually get. Woo, I like that. So it behooves us to be a person that goes around and helps and bless other people, because in so doing, in our time of need, there will be people that God will send our way that will bless and help us as well. So keep on dreaming, keep on going for it. You're so well able. God has gifted you with everything you need to accomplish the passion that's in your heart, because that's the good God that we serve. He always gives us more than enough of what we need to get the job done or to accomplish the dream that we have in our hearts. So I want to encourage you today, just go for it, go for it, go for it. I'll be your cheerleader. I'll say you can do it. Blessed are the flexible. Keep resilient, keep flexible, go with the flow, and keep thinking outside the box, and watch what inventive things you come up with that you never would have imagined before if you hadn't had a little bit of opposition, a little bit of resistance, a little bit of naysayers. And it causes you, if you look at it in the right way, to think outside of that box and come up with something else that will probably be even better than what you originally were thinking. So I love how that happens in life. So all of you that are on me right now, thank you so much. But I just want to encourage you to dream on, go for it. After this post and you see it, just get with yourself and go, you know what? This is what really makes me excited. This is what really floats my boat. What can I do to really activate on that and cause it to increase in my life so I can stay pumped up and excited? You know, there's no reason to end up sitting in the rocking chair. I'll be 70 this year, which is so exciting. I say that every now and then because I know it shocks people, but it's so true. If you'll stay following your dream and dream on and let that dream enlarge in you, it gives you life. It gives you joy and happiness because you're doing something that fulfills you. So dream on, my friend, and do what's in your heart to do to bless others and to be a blessing, and watch how exciting it will be when you look back 6 months from now, a year from now, and go, look at all of that that's happened when I first began to pick up my dream again, take the lid off the box, re-look at it, and say, now what can I do to accomplish that dream with what's in my hand today? And then begin to take those action steps and watch what begins to unfold in the days and weeks to come. Share this, please, with your friends. That would be so awesome, because somebody else needs to be encouraged today to dream on. Because I'm not saying it in a sarcastic way like, yeah, right. I'm saying, no, dream, dream, dream. Come on, do it. You can. And then I want to share a special offer with you. I have a free 3-video series that I call Let's Talk, Where Do I Begin, and the 5 elephants in the room. So I would love to offer that to you to take advantage of that. Each video is about 30 minutes, but it is so packed with information so that we can talk about some things that keep us stuck and so on. So I'm going to post that after this video so you can sign up for that. That link will take you to a place where you actually create a library with the Father's Family Business. And in that library, this free course will be there. And then anytime in the future, any other free offer or paid offer that you want to partake of, it will go into your own library. Isn't that awesome? So you'll have that from now till forever to refer back to or to look and view. So it's a wonderful thing. So I'll post that there for you, and I hope you take advantage of it because it's a powerful little series.